Episode 24. Deep down, Han Li had a growing suspicion that this little bird was almost certainly connected to Dr. Mo.
This bird is likely a spy he sent to watch me. But I don't care. As long as Dr. Mo himself isn't the one watching, what can a little bird really tell him about what I'm doing? Besides, I genuinely like this clever little creature too much to bring myself to use any cruel methods against it.
Meanwhile, Dr. Mo was in a stone chamber, sketching a strange array with powdered beast bone. As he drew the lines, he was deep in discussion with the other person in his mind, completely unaware that Han Li had already seen through his surveillance method. During this time, something momentous happened within the Seven Mysteries sect. Senior Brother Li, the idol of the new generation disciples, proved his sharp wits by exposing two wild Wolfgang spies on the spot. They were attempting to steal the list of disciples sent down the mountain for training. He and over a dozen fellow disciples captured them in one fell swoop, earning himself no small amount of credit. A few days later, the sect master publicly bestowed the position of protector upon Li Feiyu in front of the assembled disciples. He had officially entered the middle ranks of the Seven Mysteries sect, causing quite a stir. Li Feiyu's reputation grew even more resounding. As for Han Li, he was completely unaware of all this. He was undergoing intensive training in his sealed wooden hut. Aside from the occasional trip to the kitchen for food, he hadn't interacted with anyone for days. Naturally, he had no idea of his friend's current meteoric rise to fame. Summer gave way to autumn. Time flew like a shuttle, and the day finally arrived, the last day before the agreed-upon date. In the bramble forest at the bottom of the ravine, a bizarre figure flickered in and out among the branches bristling with sharp thorns, as insubstantial as a wisp of smoke. It ghosted through the dense web of woven brambles, flickering from a nearby spot one moment, only to materialize in the distance the next. The entire process was utterly silent, as if it truly were not a being of flesh and blood, but a formless entity. Finally, the figure came to a stop on a tree trunk, standing straight on a branch to gaze into the distance. It was Han Li, whose cultivation had progressed somewhat. His clothes were now torn to shreds, revealing the skin and flesh beneath. His hair was a wild, tangled mess, and his face was smeared with grime, completely obscuring his original features. Most surprisingly, small iron bells hung from his neck, waist, arms, thighs, and ankles. Seeing those iron bells, and recalling Han Li's ghostly movements through the forest, it's no wonder his earlier footwork seemed so uncanny. He stood motionless, gazing toward Divine Hand Valley.
Perfect timing. I finally mastered the smoke-shifting steps on the very last day. With this, my chances of survival are that much better.
After months of dedicated research and grueling practice, Han Li had mastered several potent secret techniques. He was quite confident in their power. He believed that even if he couldn't match Dr. Mo's unfathomable skills, he could at least use them to protect himself. A cool breeze swept over him, and Han Li felt a slight chill. He looked down at his tattered clothes and couldn't help but give a bitter smile. Just thinking back on practicing the smoke-shifting steps still gave him a lingering sense of dread. Practicing movement techniques in a bramble forest is a truly deadly affair. His movements were clumsy at first, and the sharp thorns tore into him, leaving him covered in bloody wounds. Fortunately, I had the nourishing spirit pills on me. They not only treat internal injuries, but they're also remarkably effective for external wounds. After taking one pill, the bleeding stopped and a scab formed almost instantly. By the next day, the scar had vanished without a trace.
This medicine is far superior to ordinary wound salves. I just don't get why they named this nourishing essence pill. To me, something like scar remover or blood stauncher would be way more fitting.
Yet it was precisely by practicing in such a perilous environment that Han Li was able to push his potential to the limit. In just a few short months, he had already gained a decent grasp of the smoke-shifting steps. And just a few days ago, Han Li's eternal spring arts broke through to the 6th layer, the highest level of the formula Dr. Mo had given him. Without the aid of those dozen or so bottles of spirit medicine, even if he had exerted every last ounce of his strength, he likely wouldn't have been able to master it within his lifetime. After several years of cultivation, Han Li had gained a considerable understanding of the eternal spring arts.
This technique is truly unique. Its cultivation method and its effects are both completely different from ordinary martial arts. The speed of your progress and whether you can master this technique at all depends entirely on your innate talent and how well it aligns with the method. Take me, for example. I breezed through the first 3 layers, but the 4th? It's been a complete wall, no progress at all. But with the right elixirs, you can break through those innate limitations and advance to the next level. But I doubt there's anyone else in the world who consumes medicinal pills like spirit stones, popping 2 a day like I do. And as for the perfected 6th layer of the eternal spring arts, aside from making me feel more energetic and my mind sharper, I haven't discovered any other miraculous uses for it yet. It's strange. Ever since I started cultivating the eternal spring arts, each level has only strengthened my spirit, mind, and senses. Its effect on my physical body has been minimal, just making me a bit more robust and nimble on my feet. The energy flow it generates can move through my meridians just like regular qi, but aside from making my sense of touch more acute, it has no practical effect. It doesn't pack the same devastating punch as true qi. Besides, I'm convinced there must be more to the 6th layer, advanced techniques perhaps. Its true marvels are likely reserved for the final stages.
At that thought, he shook his head helplessly.
Given my current relationship with Dr. Mo, there's no point even thinking about the higher level techniques.
Han Li stopped his wild thoughts, leaped into the air, and landed softly on the ground without a sound. He then strode toward the small wooden hut. Tomorrow he would meet Dr. Mo. Before then, he had to make full use of his talent. He needed to plan out the steps of their encounter in his mind, meticulously consider every possible detail, and formulate the best countermeasures for any danger that might arise. The sun hung high in the sky, and even in early autumn its heat was still palpable. Dr. Mo was restless in his room. He was confident in his plan to coerce Han Li, but now he was starting to feel anxious. The moment he heard those familiar footsteps, Dr. Mo was overjoyed. He darted to the door in a single stride and flung it open. From not far away, a figure slowly approached. It was the target he had been waiting for. Han Li watched as the other man slowly approached. Dr. Mo suppressed his inner excitement, forcing a smile onto his face that made him look as kindly as a neighbor's elder.
Good, you're punctual. I'm pleased you didn't run. That shows you're a smart one. Let's go inside first. We need to have a proper talk. Don't worry, there are no traps inside. It's not a dragon's den or a tiger's lair.
I'm already here. Did you think I'd be afraid to step inside?
He took the lead and strode over. Dr. Mo hastily cleared the path into the room. As Han Li stepped inside, Mo instinctively moved to close the door, only to hear Han Li's voice, delivered without so much as a glance back.
If you close that door, I'll take it as a trap. And this conversation will be over.
I'm genuinely here to discuss matters with you. I mean you no harm. If you say don't shut the door, then we won't shut it.
Dr. Mo then settled back into his reclining chair as usual. Without any ceremony, Han Li grabbed a stool and plopped himself down opposite him with an air of nonchalance. It had been nearly half a year since they'd last met, and for a moment they simply sized each other up.
Old man Mo has clearly aged a lot. He looks like a man in his 70s now. Could what he said before actually be true? Is he really just asking me to restore his vitality and not plotting something else? Was I overthinking this?
Han Li swept his gaze around the room, and his pupils suddenly contracted. The tall, mysterious man stood silently in the corner, utterly still, like an inanimate object. Unless you were actively looking for him, you'd never know he was there. Dr. Mo finished his inspection of Han Li, satisfied, clearly pleased with his condition.
Seeing you now reminds me of when you first entered the Seven Mysteries sect. Back then, you were just a child of 10 or so. Only about this tall. Oh, you've grown so tall and strong. Time truly waits for no one.
He's an old fox, more cunning than I've had hot dinners. What's with the good guy act now? I've always remembered and been grateful for Elder Mo's kindness towards me. If there's anything you need me to do, please don't hesitate to ask.
Good, good. With that promise, all the effort I've poured into you hasn't been in vain. Come, let me check your progress with the Eternal Spring Arts.
Dr. Mo seemed to have truly stepped into the role of a benevolent teacher. He stood up, walked over, and reached out to take Han Li's pulse.
Old fox, still playing the seniority card, and with such a thick skin. Now, Elder Mo, don't be impatient. I can tell you plainly, my Eternal Spring Arts have indeed reached the 4th layer. But how about you give me the antidote for the corpse worm pill first? Once I'm free from that worry, I can let you check my cultivation level with a clear mind.
Oh, honestly, you see how my mind is? Getting old again, memory's not what it used to be. I had intended to give you the antidote the moment you stepped inside.
He fished a silver vial from his sleeve, tipped out a single black pill, and tossed it to Han Li.